Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to be playing Crazy. And as we can see here in his character traits, we have plus 100 range with precise weapons. So we have a lineup here of precise weapons. We have plus 25 attack speed, overall just a nice little buff. And you start with one knife. And on top of that, we have negative engineering, negative range damage, and negative dodge percent. So what does that mean? That means we probably want to play with precise weapons, which means we also want to cap out our crit chance. And so which item here, or which weapon here, do I think is the best to play on Crazy? I think the Thief Dagger is the best. And even though, as you can see, the knife has much better damage scaling, has higher damage scaling here as well, right? Damage chances is higher, the crit damage is higher, and we also have what else? That's it, yeah. But the Thief Dagger gives you a 50% chance to gain material when you kill an enemy with a critical hit. And this is what the important point is here. None of the other weapons here have scaling like this. This weapon, for example, has elemental scaling on top of precise. However, that means you want to, or you're incentivized to split between melee damage, crit chance, attack speed, and elemental damage, which I don't think is necessary. And then something like the claw is not bad. However, I think having the thief dagger just means that you get a ton of free materials, right? So comparatively, I would say none of these items really match what the thief dagger can do. So yeah, we're going to go with the thief dagger and danger 5, of course. And actually very similar to the brawler who starts with a fist. We start here with a knife, right? So we actually have two weapons on wave 1. However, if you remember what we did with the brawler, we're going to sell the knife in a moment once we enter the first shop. Okay, and crit chance. This is perfect. Generally, you wouldn't take crit chance early on. However, we really want to get high crit chance for our thief daggers to proc more consistently. Do not forget to recycle your knife. So now we just have thief daggers, and then we can continue rolling. Roll, thief dagger, roll, 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 thief dagger. So now we have 4 thief daggers, and we re-rolled as much as possible because those re-rolls are super cheap. You want to make sure you're re-rolling and looking for the weapons you need in the first 2 shops. And there's nothing really special to be done here. You can see I got hit. It doesn't really matter. It's virtually impossible to die. I don't think I've ever died on wave 2 unless it was intentional and I just wanted to close the game or something. But yeah, then here we're gonna go ahead and re-roll, re-roll, still re-rolling, more crit chance, thank you. And then re-roll. I actually really like the baby gecko. I'm gonna go ahead and keep that here. And insanity is also not bad. The thing is, once you get capped, once you get tier 4 thief daggers, you only need 60% crit chance because these innately have 40% once they're maxed out. So you actually do not need very much crit chance. So I would say taking this, usually I wouldn't. However, in this case, I am going to lock it and pick it up in the next shop after we get another thief dagger. Because getting as many thief daggers as possible immediately, once we have 6, we get plus 15% crit chance. So I think just rushing to get all your thief daggers is usually a good strategy. And as you can see, we already have 38% crit chance on all of our daggers, which means out of 10 enemies, 4 enemies have a 50% chance to drop materials. Pretty much, right? So we're still getting some materials even though we don't have capped out crit chance quite yet. Which just means we're basically getting that little snowball effect going as soon as possible. Again, wave 3, there's nothing really to worry about. I think, personally, just make sure you're dodging the charges. Don't get hit unnecessarily. Put yourself at risk. We're going to skip here. Melee damage is okay, however, I want more crit chance. And then here, gonna skip. Dodge percent is not something you want to take. Just like engineering and range damage, we are deep in the negative. We would need more than 3 of these tier 3 upgrades just to get back to break even. And then the cap is 60, so it's just not worth it. I'm going to go ahead and reroll. And I will actually take some max HP here. think max HP is perfectly fine. Go ahead and buy the items. Once you get to wave 3, shop 3, right? You can go ahead and buy the items you had locked, since the chance to see Thief Daggers lowers by quite a lot at this point. Claw Tree is quite nice. Tentacle is okay. Reroll, lock a Thief Dagger, and continue. Next shop, we can go ahead and buy those. Increase our crit chance, right? Getting our 6 daggers is going to give us another 3% crit. And getting a tentacle is going to also give us 3% crit. Getting closer and closer to that 60%, which is exactly what we want. This wave can be a little dangerous, I think, for some people. Just make sure you're not getting hit by the projectiles. As long as you're dodging projectiles, you know, you sort of want to move in a strafing motion when you get near the spitters, so they don't hit you with their projectiles, and then you should be completely fine. Okay, and attack speed is what we want here, I think. Actually, no, we'll go for some melee damage. We have very low melee damage right now. Want to get some more. Go ahead and buy our things that we locked. Nothing here. A coupon, we love coupons. Coupons even higher value on Crazy when you play with Thief Daggers, since you're basically printing money. This decreases the price of shops, so it just ends up being extremely high value by the end of the run. Nothing here, and we're not going to reroll. We'll just go ahead and move on to the next wave. We're only sitting at 20 materials. I think rerolling there is not super necessary. We're already on wave 4 a moment ago, right? The shop 4, I should say. We're on shop 4, so we've already lost most of the increased chance to find more Thief Daggers. It's not super necessary to roll. And we already have 6 daggers as well, which means we have the 6 precise bonus stats, right? Bonus 15% crit chance. Gonna try and move over to hit the tree really quickly. Okay, didn't get a loot box, that's completely fine. Damage percent for range. I will actually go ahead and take that. Reroll. Reroll. Damage percent again, very nice. And then, oh, another gecko, love to see that. Get a little bit of that range back. More damage percent. I like injection. I think it's a nice item. Ritual is also pretty nice. And we'll go ahead and reroll one more time. We don't see anything we want. And we're good. As you can see here, right? Damage percent on a ton of items. Crit chance, crit chance, crit chance, right? This is pretty much all you want to go for. And that's why I took the max HP a little bit earlier, to make sure we're safe enough. Because in the early waves, you don't really need armor to survive. As long as you have enough max HP, you should never really get one shot, and you can easily just move around and pick up the pairs and consumables to heal yourself. As you see here, right, we have one on the ground. If I needed to heal, I could just pick this up and be completely fine. Since the enemy's damage hasn't scaled too much at wave 6, we're pretty safe. I'd say once you get to wave 11, where you can see the hordes and you can see elites, then you want to get a little bit of healing if possible. Just a small amount is pretty fine though, until you get much later into the run. You don't really need that armor or healing. Just make sure we kill as many things as possible. Okay, very nice. And some luck. I'm very happy to take 20 luck here. We have 0 until we took that. Damage percent and armor. I will actually take armor here, just to get a little bit of armor. 12% less damage taken is really nice. We get our second coupon. We can get a hedgehog here. And plant is interesting. We're actually at -3 HP regen, so this basically just loses 1 lifesteal. However, I think it's okay to take, so I'm actually going to take it anyways. And I'm going to take the lumberjack shirt, it's quite cheap. Oh, and a piggy bank. Okay. We could also take defective steroids. I think it's fine. However, I don't actually really care that much for it. It gives 1 melee damage, pretty much, and we lose a little bit of attack speed. And yeah, I just don't think it's necessary. I'm gonna go ahead and skip it. I'm also just being greedy because I just got a piggy bank, which means I get to accumulate some interest the more money I keep. We'll go ahead and kill the slasher eggs. I'm pretty confident in our damage. As you can see, we're dealing 24 per crit and 40 on some with our tier 2 dagger. So the difference is pretty big, right? Our tier 2 dagger crits for 40, our tier 1 dagger crits for 24. That's a 16 damage difference, pretty big. We can easily one-shot these though, the slashers. Not one-shot, but clear them out pretty quickly. Also, we didn't kill this loot goblin, the looter. Yeah, as you can see, we're not doing quite enough damage yet to clear the slashers easily. That's why I went ahead and broke the eggs. Lair is quite nice. Lifesteal or armor. So generally, I would just take the armor here versus lifesteal, at least on crazy, because crazy, while you do have decent attack speed, lifesteal I think is just a bit harder to take advantage of. It is very good, of course, um, but I'm actually just gonna take armor. Makes it a lot less likely we die, I think, than the lifesteal does. And another gecko, very happy with that. More geckos. Law tree. And acid. You love this item on crazy, in my opinion. You don't need dodge at all, and knockback is not super important, I think. You can see we have 2 knockback currently. This puts us at 0. It's completely fine. Nothing to be scared about. This, actually, they changed the black belt and gave it knockback. So I would say taking this here is completely fine as well. And then these 2 I will go ahead and lock. I love the snail. I feel like I talk about the snail every run. Every time I see it, I mention it. You see a snail, I think you should take a snail, basically. See a snail, take a snail. Snail is so nice, right? It's just passive debuff, right? Nice little debuff for the enemy movement speed. Makes it not significantly easier to dodge by any means, but it is the only item that just automatically applies to all enemies' movement speed, right? Giving them an 8% reduction in movement speed is really nice in my opinion. As you can see here, I feel like I would have gotten hit multiple times actually if whoa. Careful. If the enemies were any faster. Just be careful. Weaving around the enemies. Weaving through them to try and kill more before the wave ends. Okay. Wasn't the best wave, but we do have only tier 1 weapons for the most part. 10 damage percent is quite nice, I'd say. Crit chance also quite nice. And now we have our snail, so we can snow things down. Coffee, very high value, I love that. The bat is okay, but I don't have any harvesting, so I don't really want to take it, to be honest. And a propeller hat. I'll go ahead and take the hat, sanity, and glasses. And I'm not going to reroll here, since we have only 31, and we have a piggy bank, right? So we can get a little bit more value if we hold some more materials. So our coupon is saved 84, but that's only because, as you can see here, we still have a lot of tier 1 thief daggers. The second we get these upgraded, we will be very strong. And luckily this wave is not too difficult. You see we have a bunch of chasers spawning in big groups and fin aliens. And then some little chargers, and that's about it. There are also going to be some bruisers later in the stage, or later in this wave, I should say. But they're not really scary. Also, see we get hit once, we just pick up some fruits, and we're completely fine. And that's thanks to all the armor we have. So I'm definitely going to kill that looter here in a second. There we go. I will say, this character, I definitely don't really need to take more range, to be honest. I did buy the glasses, just because I think they're completely fine and very cheap. However, you have so much range already because of your passive. You don't really need any more. Your daggers pretty much become spears. You see how far out they go? And over. We made 700 that round. These rounds are really good for crazy because you get a ton of value from your thief daggers. And we can pick up some melee damage here. These are not great, so I'll go ahead and skip. Not great either. Crit chance. There we go. And max HP. There we go. Very nice. Oh, beautiful. Okay. Also, make sure to buy propeller hat. Combine a thief dagger and get a tier 3 thief dagger. That's very nice for us. And then here, we could take the alloy. It's not bad. The issue is we don't really get many stats we need from it. We do get the crit chance, but you can see here we're at 59%, which means we're pretty much capped, since getting tier 4 daggers will give us another 10%. We pretty much only need 1 more percent here to be completely capped. This similarly, right, 5% dodge is a waste. But honestly, this might be worth buying. It's a bit of an investment, but since we're kind of behind on weapon upgrades, I think getting that extra crit chance right now, even if we don't need it later, is pretty good for us. We don't have enough knockback, I think, to take banner. Acid, on the other hand, we do. We're only -1. Okay, very nice. Another thief dagger. And wings. Um, if you have enough speed, I wouldn't recommend taking this. But since I have negative speed, I'm actually going to go ahead and take this. Put us in the positive here. 7% speed is nice. Now we feel pretty happy. We can sort of maneuver really easily. We have a snail to slow down enemies, and we have some wings to speed ourselves up. And that's pretty much all we need for the speed. Just want to remember, you have really long range. It's longer than you think, right? Since you get plus 100 just from using precise weapons on Crazy. Focus down the bruisers where you can. They're the only threat on this stage. Again, focusing the bruiser here. There we go. Moving over here to hit him some more. And then sort of just force enemies to clump up so you can hit them all together. Move out of the charger's way, move out of the bruiser's way. That's all you need to do to stay safe. And I'm actually incredibly safe, right? I'm 50 HP and I have a ton of armor. So even if I were to get hit, it wouldn't really matter much. So 12% speed. I don't think I need this much, but I'm going to take it since it is a tier 4 upgrade and it just means I never have to take speed again for the rest of the run. Propeller hat is nice, more luck. Poisonous tonic is quite nice as well. We don't really care too much about that HP regen. And lovely little thief dagger. Plus a scar for XP. Another thief dagger. And a ritual, which gives us lifesteal. Very happy with that. Now I'll even take a wandering bot. So the thing is, on this character, you get so many sort of items from all the gold you make off of your thief daggers. 307 and 368, right? That you can buy items like this, which are quite expensive typically, since you won't actually see that many items which you do want anyways. You might reroll 10 times and only get 5 items, for example. This is a bit of a hyperbole, but basically anything that is usable, you can pretty much buy, just like this wandering bot. And in this case, we do actually have 99% crit chance, and so this does lose us 3%, and it is technically really overkill, since once we have tier 4 thief daggers, you only need 60% crit chance. However, this just means we have 105% chance to crit. So we're completely capped on crit for right now, which is a nice little bonus. Just means we're always going to print gold. And we're against Colossus here. Pretty simple. Just move towards the pursuers. So you hit the pursuers and Colossus at the same time, if possible. Okay, I just got hit for no reason. I sort of stopped moving. And we have really high move speed. Plus the boss is slowed down because of the snail. And the fight's over. So the wave is over. The second the boss dies, the wave is pretty much over. Especially, you can see I killed him in about 25 seconds. That means we have plenty of time to clear out the rest of the minions in the wave. Should not be dangerous for you at this point, if you made it this far in the run already. I think Crazy, the weakest point in the run, is actually the beginning. And the reroll buff was sort of like an indirect buff to Crazy, because you make so much money, you gather so many materials, that having cheaper rerolls means your materials are actually worth even more. Yeah. So them making rerolls cheaper also buffed Crazy by a big amount, and I think he was already quite strong. And this, of course, we're taking this. 3% attack is nothing compared to 30% damage. We absolutely take that. And we're really safe, so I'm just going to take more damage with attack speed here. By the robot. Melee tree or claw tree we don't need. We are capped on crit chance. Completely capped. 100% on everything or above. Some armor. Also kind of unnecessary, but also might as well take it. It makes us a little bit safer. A bag. So if this makes us 45 materials, it ends up being of value. So I'll just go ahead and take it. Why not? Skip this. Okay, we get another thief dagger. Very nice. No thief daggers. No thief daggers. We could actually take a tractor. So this would give us 40 harvesting rate. Could end up being worth it. I actually like the idea of taking both of these. We don't need... We have a ton of damage, basically. The only thing that would matter here in this case is upgrading our weapons. As you can see here, 61 times 2. We're dealing 121 per hit already. So just getting more damage percent has some nice value. However, getting that harvesting means we get more levels. If we get both of these, which are going to end up being pretty cheap for us, since we're printing materials, right? If you look, we started at about, was it 160, I think? Let's see where we end the wave at. Any wave with a lot of big clumps of small enemies is really nice for crazy. Because you're completely safe, right? As long as you're not just standing still. As long as you're not standing still when a bunch of enemies are coming at you, then generally speaking, you are very safe. Don't need to be scared of anything. Just make sure you're clearing out the chargers so you don't get overwhelmed. And pursuers, same thing for pursuers. Chargers, bruisers, anything that charges at you. As long as you're keeping them off the screen, you should be completely safe. And even the bruisers, if they hit me, for example, I could stand still. Let's see if I get hit. One of you hit me, please. Okay, they're missing. Okay, one of them, you see, I got hit for 11 damage and immediately healed it up. So I'm really at no risk, right? 2 melee damage for 2 harvesting is perfectly fine. More attack speed, some harvesting. I'm actually going to take harvesting here because I'm going to buy both of these items. We have 8 waves to take advantage of the scaling stats here. And we don't need more speed, we can go ahead and skip that. We can take some attack speed, that's lovely. Black belt, XP gain, right? This is another scaling item. We do lose a little bit of luck, it's completely fine. One of these. Another black belt. Sure. Sure, why not? What is our knockback at? We have 5 knockback. Okay, that's completely fine. I will also buy a warrior helmet. We have so much move speed. Just getting more tank stats can only make the run safer. And since move speed is not really necessary, for example, this was damage percent being taken away, I might be a little bit more hesitant to buy it. But losing move speed is not a big deal. We have so much, and the enemies are slowed by the snail. So I'm completely fine to trade a little bit of move speed for some tanky stats. Oh yeah, we even have a wandering bot as well, right? Wandering bot keeps things from getting too close to us. Wandering bot is pretty strong against bosses as well, since it slows them so much that they can't really run away or charge into you, as long as you're angling the bot so that it's hitting the bosses. This wave, we're not really making too much money. I say as we have 600 materials, but you can see most of the enemies are sort of tankier enemies. It's not really a lot of chasers or fin aliens like the small enemies which clump up. Oh, poisonous tonic. We absolutely don't need more crit rate, but we don't need any HP regen, so we might as well take it. Damage percent, lovely. Tank stats, another tractor, why not? Let's just get even more harvesting. Mastery has 0, what's the word? 0 negatives. 0 trade-off. It's just melee damage, so of course you take this. Losing a bit of range is completely fine. Elemental damage we don't need. Can take this as well. A plant. We took a plant earlier, which put our HP regen into a break-even point at 0. We're going to take this one as well, again. So I basically lost 2 lifesteal for no reason, but it's completely fine. And this as well, I don't really like having knockback, to be honest, so I'm actually going to buy this. Some people might disagree with me, but I think on a lot of characters, especially melee characters, having positive knockback actually feels more like a disadvantage than an advantage. Because if you deal enough damage, you can pretty much one-shot enemies. However, if you push them away, there's a chance you don't actually finish them off, and they just like linger on the screen for longer. Also, this wave we're going to make quite a lot of money. You can see there's so many small enemies on the screen. We started at almost 0 materials this wave, and we are currently at 500 almost. Also, I'd love to get another baby gecko, so we don't actually have to pick anything up manually. We can just attract all the materials immediately on drop. Like I said, you can see our money here. Just make sure you're running into things so none of the enemies despawn. If they despawn, you do not get the materials. So just like run through them like this, right? You should be completely safe if you have enough armor and health at this point. And we made 1,200 materials. So I'm actually going to take more harvesting. Why not? And then here we can go ahead and take... We're so safe, it doesn't really matter, honestly. Just harvesting, sure. Vigilante ring is a bunch of extra damage. The dodge is useless, but I'm going to take it for the luck. We have so much money, we really want to see higher tier things if possible. We don't need more speed. Coffee is very good value. 2 melee damage is good value. Another black belt. Sure, why not? Another 2 melee damage. Okay, we'll take it. We don't really need Gummy Berserker. I think the range is not necessary, so it's just 5 attack speed for 1 armor. Don't need that. Ritual is just damage and lifesteal for nothing. We don't lose anything for taking it. And combine these, get another Thief Dagger, get bait. And honestly, we'll even take Regeneration Potion. Though, I don't know if I'm misremembering, but I feel like this used to be 8 HP regeneration. So this might have gone a big nerf. Maybe I'm just misremembering. Someone could correct me if they know. But I feel like this was 8. But even then, I still think it's quite nice. Because it doubles your HP regen when you get low HP. So if you have a high HP pool like me, 63, plus you have a nice amount of armor, this is pretty good value. Obviously, the more HP regen you have, the better value it is. But we could try and pick up some HP regen from the stats, from our stat upgrades. Also, I'd like the slasher eggs to actually hatch, so we can get more materials from them. I need to make sure I'm not actually breaking the slasher eggs before they do hatch. So this one here, I'm going to avoid hitting it, let it hatch first. And get more materials that way, thank you. Make sure you're breaking all the trees, of course. Get more loot boxes. And yeah, there's not much to say. I think at this point you should be virtually unkillable. Pretty much after wave 8 or so, yeah, after wave 8 or so, you should be really strong, really difficult to kill, super tanky, high damage. And yeah, everything at that point should feel really easy. You just keep upgrading your weapons, of course. How much knockback do we have? We have 3. I don't really want to buy this then. Okay, continue going. Oh, a bunny. One of my favorite items. And acid. One of our friend Crazy's favorite items. More lifesteal in exchange for 2 harvesting is very nice. Cyclops Worm is also very nice. We don't need that much range. And we can go ahead and buy this Thief Dagger. And we have another Thief Dagger. So now we're sitting at 4 Thief Daggers. And as you can see, we have 117% chance to crit. So we are completely capped on crit chance. This is why I said you only need 60% if you have tier 4 daggers. But we wanted to get above the cap early because we had a lot of tier 3, 2, and 1 daggers. So we wanted to make sure that they were closer to 100%. But at this point, there's nothing really lost from having a little bit of excess crit chance. It helped us out in the early game, so it did what it needed to do. And this wave is also very relaxing. You can see we're just against some buffers with some fin aliens. Just like they come in clumps, you should be able to one-shot them regardless if they're buffed or not. But I will say, just like, you know, run towards the buffers, clear them out. It just removes any risk of dying. As long as you're getting rid of those buffers, you should never get hit hard enough to actually, yeah, to actually die. Or to even be at risk of dying even. You can see the Horned Berserker was pretty tanky when he was buffed up. I actually took more than 1 set of attacks to kill him. Run towards this clump before the wave ends. We can get more materials. And we got almost 900. Pretty close. Losing HP regen is kind of bad value because we have the vial. But I think it's still worth it because we don't really need these healing stats to win the run anymore. Attack speed is perfectly fine. I'll just go ahead and take it. Reroll a bit. 12 max HP, so we're almost at 100. We're getting pretty close. Okay, this is a bit ridiculous. So speed doesn't matter, so losing this is completely fine. And we have a ton of damage percent. So exchanging a little bit of it for 20 melee damage is pretty nice. So I'm going to go ahead and take that. And 2 melee damage for 2 harvesting is a good trade as well. Plant is really good value with a regeneration potion. Nothing here. Some more luck. Sure, why not? Losing HP regen is not good value, but it doesn't matter. We'll be completely safe. And we don't need the crit chance from the tentacle, but it does let us heal. So, completely fine to take as well. And we're broke. Okay, so keep going. And as you can see, we've gotten so many materials this run. I can show you guys at the end of the run how many materials each of our daggers gave us. And then Croc, just make sure you're dodging his charge. Stay within the circle. You should be completely safe. Even if he hit me, I think I could have tanked maybe even 5 hits. I forgot what his damage range is, but I believe I could have tanked 5 hits easily without dying. And if we got low HP, then our regeneration potion would have healed us back up anyways. Oh, I also forgot we had a piggy bank, so I haven't really been saving materials too much. But, you know, regardless, I always say the piggy bank pretty much pays itself off every single time, and then some. Even on a character that doesn't really prioritize materials. So on a character like Crazy, where you get almost like 2-3 times as much materials as other characters, the item is pretty useful. Okay, we don't need engineering, so I will actually just take this for the luck. We definitely don't need more crit chance. We are completely capped out. So I think there's probably some math equation that could tell me if melee damage or attack speed is more value. I just assume attack speed is higher value, so I'm just going to take it. Trade more HP regen. Why not? We can't buy this, unfortunately. We have 6 knockback, so I'll go ahead and get rid of some. Life steal. Thief dagger we can't buy either. Okay, we can buy this thief dagger. And we can definitely trade some harvesting for more tank stats, healing stats. Okay, let's see where our piggy bank is. So we can check our... We'll check them at the end of the run, of course. But you can see 2 coupons saved us 737 materials. Piggy bank, 118 materials gained. This could be way more if I was actually actively trying to use it. And we had something else. Oh yeah, we had a bag. 135 materials from the bag. And what else do we have here? Vigilante ring has given us 9 damage percent. The bunny saved us 49 materials. And our daggers are at 900, 900, 600, 200, 60, and 50. So, yeah, you can see here, it's a bit ridiculous. It's almost like 1000 plus 1500 plus 200. So about 2700 materials gained from our weapons, which is quite a lot. Yeah, 27 materials is a lot. And since they did buff free rolls to make them cheaper, it just means that that money is exponentially more useful. Since we can reroll a lot more times for a lot cheaper, we get to see a lot more items and a lot more useful items, which means our materials are worth more. I'm still really shocked though that they made rerolls so much cheaper. I genuinely do not think it was necessary, and I also think it was a massive buff to any character that used a lot of materials. I will say though that that probably makes the pacifist a lot easier to play, because I think pacifist is one of the harder characters for people to play, so I'm kind of excited to show you guys how to play that. I don't think it's super complex, but I do think it's a little difficult, to be honest. He felt a little bit weak even. I'd probably put him in C tier or even D tier. Okay, we have this here. I mean, we don't need crit chance, and we also don't need range. So you know what, I'll actually just go ahead and recycle that. Sure, HP regen, why not? More melee damage is very nice. This is completely unnecessary because we have 3 geckos already. But I will just go ahead and buy it because there's nothing else to buy really. I don't actually want more speed, so I'm going to skip this. There's no point. Dodge is useless. We don't need more luck. Oh, a thief dagger. Okay, so now we have all completely maxed out thief daggers. I did just sell one, so we didn't get to see how much it made. But the round before was at 50, so I doubt it was much higher than that. We can go ahead and buy this. Go ahead and buy the tooth. And this could kill us, which is exactly why I'm buying it. So you can see some of my healing in action. Let's see how long it takes us to full heal. We shouldn't get hit at all. We are now at half HP, 10 seconds in. And we are full HP now. It took about 16 seconds to heal from 1 HP to 92 HP. So that is pretty much a good, yeah, it's a good demonstration of how tanky you can be. You just take a little bit of healing late in the game. It is, of course, the regeneration potion doing a lot of work. But even if we didn't have it, we would have healed quite a lot anyways, just from our lifesteal and HP regen. And these waves at this point should, yeah, like this late, if you're at wave 19 and you're struggling, there has to be some big issues. Maybe you're lacking damage, maybe you're not tanky enough, but it should be very easy once you get to this point. Cyber Bowl, we don't really need anything to win the run at this point. I'm just going to click things randomly, sure, crit chance. Let's go ahead and roll. Just click everything, why not? Sure, one of those, sure, some of those. Sure, alien eyes, why not? What else could we possibly use? Sure, this. Sure. Sure, this one of these maybe. Okay, we're poor. Very nice. We could have bought this and got even more damage, but the run is over. And let's just go ahead and clear out the Invoker really quick. Excuse me, sir. I want to kill the Invoker. Don't run away from me. Thank you. And he's dead. We'll take care of the Predator. We'll just stand still. We don't really need to dodge his projectiles, and the run's over. That's it. Okay? And so, yeah, you can see here, like I said in the early game, we just took crit chance, crit chance, crit chance, damage, 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 and continue to upgrade our thief daggers along the way. And then for stats, of course, we were also taking a lot of melee damage, crit chance, attack speed, right? All of these stats that give you more damage. And then as you move into those middle waves, you can start taking some HP, max HP, right? Some enemy speed negation here. Attack speed, right? Luck, take a bit of luck. Took some speed again. And then we started getting those tank stats later on. Armor and harvesting. We even took harvesting a bit around the middle to late waves. Just taking harvesting and luck along the way. Right? And then I'm sure some people want to see. We can see the tentacle healed us for 165. Coupon healed us, or saved us, 956 materials. I think these didn't even cost us like 50 materials. So this pretty much was 50 materials invested to become nearly 1,000. We have the piggy bank. Piggy bank we didn't really take advantage of. And it still gave us 169 materials by the end of the run. So it's not bad at all. And then what else do we have here? We have the sack, or the bag. One bag gave us 195. I believe this cost about 40 materials. So this got 5 times the value. The vigilante ring gave us 18% damage. Very nice. And the repost did 0 damage. It just was, 2 melee damage for our weapons here. Technically 1 damage since we only have 50% melee damage scaling. Then what else? Dangerous Bunny gave us 78 materials. We bought it very late in the run as well. And that's all. And you can see our daggers. 100 materials gained, 200 gained, nearly 400 gained, 750, 1,050, and 1,050. So this would be 2,100 plus this, 2,850 plus this, 3,200 plus 300, 3,500 materials gained. So that's bonus materials from our weapons. Okay? So yeah, crazy. Like I said, after the buff, I think he became much, much easier. Also, ton of XP gained, free rerolls and everything. Because rerolls became even cheaper, right? So that material gain that you get from your passive has insane value. Yeah, has absolutely insane value, right? So yeah, I recommend you go Thief Daggers. The game should feel quite easy and smooth once you get past those middle waves and those early waves, I should say. Yeah, okay. So I hope you enjoyed. Next time we will be playing the Ranger. Okay? So I hope you guys look forward to it. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. If you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe. Okay? See you later. Bye bye.